So there's this aspect of organic chemistry that I think is very strange, and this is the idea of combustion of alkanes. And I think it's odd for two reasons. From the teaching side of it, this really isn't organic chemistry, this is general chemistry. In general chemistry, we talk about combustion reactions and how to balance them and how to predict them. And so I think it's kind of weird that we have to talk about it, something that's considered so much lower than organic, but on the other extreme, students really don't get it. And so I tried when I was coming up with this video to decide what their actual issue is. And I think the actual issue is not so much that students don't know how to balance a combustion reaction, it's just that they're not used to doing it in the context of an organic chemistry course. So what is a combustion reaction? Well, at its simplest heart, and I do have previous videos on this, but if you're an organic, you probably don't want to go through those. Combustion reaction is always oxygen gas combined with some parent molecule that we're going to burn. Now, the nice thing about organic is there's really only a handful of compounds that we're going to produce when we burn them, whereas something with inorganic chemistry, with general chemistry, we can throw anything up there. In this case, we never want to produce CO2 because we've got carbon compounds in our organic compound. We're going to produce water because we know we've got hydrogen in our compound, and in the event of nitrogen, most likely you'll see either N2 or NO2 produced. Now, typically we stay away from those because it is kind of weird which one actually gets formed. You need to know a bit more about the problem. But in most cases when we do a combustion reaction, particularly with the nice simple problems presented in organic, you're only going to produce CO2 and H2O. Now what about the parent compound? Where this is where you're going to start seeing the difference from General Chemistry 1. In General Chemistry 1 and 2, what you're usually given is the formula itself, so something like C6H6 for benzene. But in organic, the expectation is that you can take something like this, so in this case toluene, combustion with oxygen, and say, oh, this is what I expect to do. So if I had to guess how to help an organic student make this jump as to how to predict this reaction, I'd say take this compound and translate it into something that you already know, which is the formula. So how many carbons are in this compound? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's C7. Hydrogens, we have 5 along the benzene, and then 3 up here to give us 8. So now we have the combustion of C7H8 with O2 goes to CO2 plus H2O. So if I had to guess how to help you out with this, take your big organic compound, count up the carbons, count up the hydrogens, if there's any oxygens in the compound, count up the oxygens as well, and then just write out your formula. And then balance it like you would in a general chemistry course. Now the way I teach this, in case some of you don't have me or a similar professor for general chemistry, use your subscript on the carbon to create your count for CO2. You've got 8 hydrogens, so you need 4 waters, and now you balance the carbons and the hydrogens. To solve for the oxygen, just use a dummy variable and then set up an equality. For every X molecules of O2, I have 2X atoms of oxygen. And on the right side, I got 14 atoms of oxygen from CO2 and 4 from water. So 2X equals 18. So X here equals 9. So this is the balanced combustion reaction. And if you don't see this, you don't really know how to balance a combustion reaction, you're not comfortable with it, go look through my YouTube channel. I do actually have videos on how to balance, more worked out videos on how to balance a combustion reaction. But I think this is the challenge for organic chemistry students. You already know how to balance a combustion reaction. You did this back in general chemistry. This should actually be pretty easy for you. I think the issue that students have is more that they don't realize that they can just take this organic line drawing and translate it back into a formula that they're more comfortable with balancing a reaction with.